Wait, whose volume does that control?
Oh, hello there. What's up?
Wow, they really pack a lot of options into DVDs, don't they? Hey, you know, back in my day, you just popped a movie into the old VCR and hit play.
Can you actually hear me? Or is my mic off again? Oh, you can. Good. Everything's going downhill. Why? What's going on?
Alright, we're gonna start the commentary track. Taxidermist who helped us out with these bat creatures for real cheap. He's not good. So, he's kind of sloppy if you want to know the truth. But that's the best part. A sloppy bat looks scarier. Oh, but you gotta sew up that sphincter. Just trust me on that one.
Hey man, what's going on?
Some board member had these nephews who really wanted to be in the films. They made me cast them as squids. Whatever happened to artistic integrity? If you're going to cast a role not on merit, at least let it be a hot female role. Assuring me the strings wouldn't be visible in the final cut, but I could see them. No transparent nylon. This stuff will do the trick. Yeah, right. I swear those darn strings is what made my hair go white.
Usage. Jump. While in the air, use teleport. Quickly return to upper floor.
A single minute of this scene, the nuclear ends. Hey, we need to remind the audience our heroes are climbing a tower, so I needed something that would stick to walls. Originally, we had these web-footed what-have-yous. Not very scary. And then, I left some cake out in my trailer, and it was crawling with ants in the morning. And that's when it hit me. What is the most obnoxious thing in the world? elaborate high-tech lock. But hey, if a Gregorian ever traveled to Earth, I'm sure they'd think a lot of our stuff is weird too.
To my co-pilot robot. He was the most loyal companion in the galaxy.
Dick. Malfunction. Dick. Malfunction.
These Gregorians will pay dearly for this, my friend.
Now, what's a space adventure film without a trusty robot sidekick, huh? Am I right? In the original draft, we had Dick and Scarlet team up with an alien from the planet's surface. You know the type, pointy ears, wise and emotionless. But then we came to our senses and realized that a giant tin can robot's way cooler. Besides, everybody was doing the alien thing back then. You know me, I'd rather be a trailblazer.
hi there. What's up?
The insurance company made us install those safety guards after our actors fell off the set one too many times. Granted, they kept falling off even with the rails, but thanks to how the contract was laid out, we were no
Yeah,
longer
it's supposed to look
liable
like
for their
old
injuries.
60s movies, sci-fi movies. That's why. And it's gonna be awesome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Why on earth does this crazy film have title cards on screen when people are talking? You're thinking that, aren't you? I know you are. I would be too. Well, we had thought about making it a silent film at one point, so we shot a lot of scenes up close like this, with the dialogue written out for the audience to read. Well, when we swapped over to making a talkie, well, we just decided to keep on going rather than reshooting all those scenes.
Can you actually hear me? Or is my mic off again? off again. Let's see. Nope, it's on. Good. Oh, the camera angles. Well, I guess. But I don't mind. It's still a fun game. back. So, what's up? Exactly, didn't answer my question. Why is everything going downhill? Just life, yeah, I guess. Hasn't been all that great for me either. But yeah, the game is pretty fun. Especially they probably wanted to make it look like a 62. It's pretty. No! Good.
Best part about being in showbiz, craft services. It's like never-ending supply of free food all day long. I never had to pay for a single meal. Hey Patrick, I noticed you guys don't do that here in your studio. You should talk to your boss. Maybe even just a bagel station.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, but a little bit janky. I guess all the games still required? Okay, let me see what I can do about that. Okay, hope this helps. Yeah. Should be fine now. At least I hope so. Let me know if it's any better. Thanks. Testing. Is it better? Is it worse? Is it the same?
That nitpicking science community also complained about these Terra whatevers breathing fire. Like there's fossil evidence of dinosaurs not ever shooting fireballs. It's not like I gave them neck frills or had them spit poison or anything ridiculous.
Welcome
like
back.
that.
So, how about now? Is it any better? Is it the same? Is it worse? Let me know, please. Hope it's better. Also, there's probably Oh, it's better. Okay, cool. And there's also like, I don't know, probably something like a 20-second delay in the stream.
Seems like our lead forgot what to do in his scene.
But it's better. Okay, cool. Thanks. I need to get a new mic. This one's shit. But I can't afford to get a new one. So I have to deal with this one for now. Ooh. Nice. Upgrade anything? Ooh, I can. Nice.
As luck would have it, the next lot to ours was filming some horror movie set in Transylvania. So we signed a soft contract with them to use their set after they wrapped for the day. And by that I mean
Okay,
we kinda snuck in
fine.
and filmed it real
Back
quick
to
when
work.
no one was
Thanks for
looking.
dropping by the way.
I had my
I
assistant
appreciate
Phyllis
that
keep a
a
lookout
lot.
for the security guard. scene with Scarlet using the landmines, but then I came to my senses and we reshot with Dick. I mean, a woman using high explosives? This may be a science fiction, but we have to keep things at least somewhat believable. Hey, most days, the effects team really nailed it. Dinosaurs, saucers, hey, you name it. But these, deflating rock boulder cubes, not their best work. Just looks kind of odd, if you ask me, like giant whoopee cushions. They said they could add some debris and explosions or two afterwards, and then we ran out of budget. Well, to be fair, we ran out of budget several times, but still, I lost a lot of sleep over these rocks.
Hopefully. So. Oh, oh.
This one with regular logs, well, that was disastrous. I'll tell you, never mess with physics. It was kind of, well, to be frank, it started out nice, but then, well, it was a death trap. Just plain and simple, it was a death trap. Poor kid holding the boom almost broke his leg. Guess he played basketball in college or something, because he leaped right at the last second. Whew! Crisis averted. My props guy wanted to swap them with some spongy material for safety, but I had a better idea. Let's set the logs on fire, then the crew will be sure to be safe dealing with them. Even though we created these conveyor belts for Stacy's character, Jonathan was always trying to run across them to no avail. I probably should have told him that we slowed the belt down whenever Scarlet runs across, but I got a real kick out of watching him cry. A new style of filmmaking. Have the hero do absolutely nothing from time to time. With all this jumping and climbing and jumping, wouldn't this make a great video game? Isn't that what all those video games are about? Jumping around?
Well, yeah, and killing. There's jumping too, but mostly killing.
What? Patrick, that's awful. What sort of example are we setting for our youth?
Well, movies are pretty violent too. Your heroes have killed everything in sight. You had Dick shooting a dinosaur in the face in the first 5 minutes.
Well, Patrick, that's different, you know? What we did on film, that was art. Video games aren't art. funny story about the two caged apes in this scene. I had completely forgotten about them when we wrapped up filming on the set. Then we spent the next day doing a location shoot. So, suffice it to say, our return to the studio was met with a couple of grumbling tummies complaining about unsafe work conditions, human rights, yada yada yada. I was thinking we should take a little break and get a bite to eat. You like Chinese? I know a great takeout.
Well, we're not scheduled for a break for another few hours.
Nonsense. Hey, you have to try the shrimp. It's the absolute best. But, oh, hey, I feel like I should warn you. It gives me horrible gas. But that's okay. We're friends, right?
Really, sir. Studio time costs a fortune. Let's just stay on schedule.
Good thinking. We could grab a real dinner together and go out for a night on the town, yeah. Two young bachelors on the prowl. Say, where do you youngsters go these days? Hollywood or even made the budget back for that matter, but hey, in the end, I think it was still worth making, just for those die-hard fans that really love it. I attended a lot of sci-fi and movie cons, and to this day, I still see fans showing up dressed as aliens and apes and dinosaurs. Does a man proud. Now, granted, their costumes aren't exactly 100% faithful to the film, and it seems that no one ever remembers them by the right name. But still, knowing that we still have fans like this promoting the film decades later, it puts a tear in this old director's eye. I get all emotional. Okay. Insistence on lens flare. I tell you, some days it felt like he was trying to be the director. Honestly, you could see dust on the lens, so just go and wipe it off myself. He would get so upset about it too. Like my fingers aren't clean enough to wipe the lens. Touch the lens. Whatever.
Speed is not enough to pass through that fan. Chance of death 100%. Retrieve the time vortex device if you wish to go any further. Searching. Time vortex device detected. Device in dangerous area. Nuclear amps everywhere.
backstory on Dick? Why'd he travel to Gravoria in the first place? Did he do any research before landing there? Did he have a specific mission in that region of space?
Patrick, if you keep getting bogged down by the details, how will you ever learn to just sit back and appreciate the work of art for what it is? Production tip, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how sunny it is, don't store your papier-mâché props outdoors. They will get rained on. It's the law in this town, like Occam's razor or Stockholm syndrome, or I forget what it's called.
What in the cosmos? It's my co-pilot's body! I believe that I can repair it. Oh no! I am trapped!
Master Dick. Master Dick. Functions restored. Threat detected. Must eliminate.
Fun fact, that we actually had an actor inside the robot suit moving him around. I bet you thought it was an actual robot, huh? That's how good he was. No rest breaks or anything. Hardest working actor I've ever met. What a trooper. It was a shame we couldn't afford to pay him. And of course, since he wasn't on the payroll, I couldn't officially add him to the credit. But still, what a trooper. Wish I had a dozen actors like him. Nothing like an adrenaline boost to get our hero to really start wailing on those monsters. We were unsure how to represent a surge of adrenaline at first, but I think we nailed it. Yeah, definitely nailed it.
Eliminate with extreme prejudice. Alien slimes terminated.